All right, so we're booted up here. I transferred over my original odometer to this. So if you power it up, hold the A and the B in, and if you hold it longer than 3 seconds, it goes to full. Full gives you access to a few more of the features. Once again, the previous video shows you full versus what you can't get to and can get to. If you hit A to navigate, we got top speed warning, oil change interval, speed multiplier, front tooth sprocket. So the monkey had it a little higher, put it down to 14. And then you can do the rear sprocket. Once again, I set this to the CT. Pulse, they give you factory default settings. The monkey has a smaller rear tire diameter. They claim a 576 is the CT. We'll try this and we'll confirm it with a GPS. The tachometer, basically where your red line begins. You got your shift point here, leading up to the shift point, and then red line point. You can change it to 13,000 RPMs or 10,000 RPM resolution. Type, I didn't read into that. This is a factory default setting. Pulse is a default setting. Max temp, once again, I changed mine over to Fahrenheit, so we'll see how she cruises on flat ground. We'll get a lay of the land once summertime comes around. POBD is the factory temp sensor in the cylinder head. They give you a nice little graph if you want to do some slope and offset changes for an aftermarket sensor. Illumination 1 through 5. This is on 5. If you whack it down to 1, it's a little dimmer. Start, I didn't look at that. ABS on or off. I guess if you rip out the module, you can turn it off. This is where you set your odometer. So obviously it showed up with zeros everywhere. This is the unit. You can change the mile per hour, kilometer, whatever you want to do. This is the voltage multiplier, either plus or minus, so you just verify it with a voltmeter. The factory CT suggestion says 0.8. That was over a half of a volt higher, so I put it down to 0.7. And within 1 decimal place, this matched my voltage at the battery. Also, we've got primary gear settings. I didn't touch any of this stuff, no need to, but it goes all the way up to 6 gears if you change your cog or gear sets within the transfer case or gearbox. And then this is a display setting here. This is if you want to take a gear ratio display on the left-hand side, either turn it on or off, and then cut off RPM. This is to account for if you have a clutch like on a monkey or a centrifugal clutch on the CT. So it doesn't give you erroneous gear indicator because the RPM in the clutch is slipping. And then you get to C, hit both buttons again, she comes out. You're back to normal. And if you just toggle through A, there's your tripometer A, B, and then your oil change interval. And if you go down to B, you got the clock, hours of movement time, hours of run time. And then the bottom here, we got C. I have the vehicle off now, 12.4 volts. And then this is kind of nifty. It gives you max settings. So I was sitting here revving it, got it up to this high, temperature got to that high. And then if you push and hold C down, it'll reset everything. All right, so once again, we got A, B, C, and then the English literature kind of walks you around pretty good. All in all, the installation went very smoothly. All you really need is a couple Allens, zip ties, needle nose, and some patience. So this is what you're left with: stock unit, stock back cover, and 2 washers. These 2 washers won't fit in the aftermarket back cover. They fit the silver screw, this 2 silver screws. And then this guy here, garbage. I paid extra for the 1205 part number, allegedly to fit the CT125, and it didn't fit. Wasn't required. Whatever you want to call it, don't waste your money.